Hi guys, this is Tina with the Transformation of Tina, and welcome back for another video. I know it's been a while since you saw me, probably about maybe like 3 weeks or so ago, but I am back with an update. So today we're going to do the week 40 through 42 update, and let's jump right into it. I have my little card here, so if you see me look down, I'm looking at my card to see what I had to say. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm doing well too. I do have some things that I want to talk about before we get into weeks 40 through 42. If you haven't checked out my last week update, make sure you check that out. I believe that was weeks 36 through 39. So make sure you check out that video. An update from that video was that time in that video, and probably the video before that, I might have mentioned how I had been feeling really fatigued. And I thought about, well, I know in the last video I mentioned it. I'm not 100% sure about the video before that. But my last weekly update video, I talked about how I'd been feeling fatigued and I wasn't 100% sure where it was coming from. Well, I think I finally figured out what was going on with me. I think that I thought it was tied to me getting COVID, but at the same time, around the time that I got COVID, around the time that I suspect that I got COVID, I also started taking a PPI, and I just found like the paperwork that comes with the medicine, and normally I don't really pay much attention to that, and I normally just trash it, but I saw it because it's actually right next to my desk. So I saw it and I picked it up and I actually started reading it, and it talked about how the medicine can cause you to have vitamin deficiencies. So around that time, I also had ran out. I'm not sure if it was around that time or if it was right before that, but I had ran out of my vitamins. So I had ran out of my vitamins, and I started taking a medicine that could cause vitamin deficiencies, and I was just feeling so fatigued. So I believe that the fatigue that I was feeling was not from trying to recover from COVID or the TERS, because I wasn't 100% sure why I was feeling so fatigued. It was a lot of things that could have possibly caused my fatigue, but I believe that it might have been one, from me running out of my vitamins, but two, also from the PPI that I was on. So now that I am aware of that, I just have to be more conscious about taking my vitamins. So this is just a reminder. If you too are feeling fatigued, you might not be getting enough nutrients while you're on this medication. But it could also be something else that's going on. So sometimes you just have to pay attention to things. So that was what I really wanted you guys to know. I believe that my fatigue was caused by by me running out of vitamins and not taking them, but also by the PPI medicine. So I've been trying to be a little bit more conscious. Well, I only found this out. I only kind of like discovered this maybe like within the last week or so. So I've been trying to be more conscious into in making sure that I'm taking my vitamins. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. Also in that last video, I talked about the great video that Charles from Round Mound of Zepbound did about mochi, but he also did a video about Empower Pharmacy. So if you haven't had a chance to check that video out, make sure you check that video out. Unfortunately, most of the medicine that I currently have is from Empower. I think I only have one vial of Hollandale left, and then a majority is from Empower. I have previously taken the Empower medicine and haven't really felt like I felt sick or felt any adverse reactions. So for right now, my plan is to continue to take it unless something else comes out otherwise that would say that I need not take it. But I don't know. I'm kind of like caught up in the middle. Like, do I take it? Do I not take it? Do I try to get a refund? Do I not try to get a refund? But as of right now, I've been feeling okay. I haven't noticed anything weird. So I'm probably going to continue to take it. So that is that. But you guys, I know I did an Empower unboxing before. So I just want you guys to do what you feel is appropriate for you. So just because I'm still taking mine, you don't necessarily have to still take yours. Um, and you can do whatever you want to do. I just wanted to put that out there. Since I did do an unboxing about Empower, I plan on taking my medicine, but I can't tell you to take yours. I'm no doctor. I am just a person who is on medication and chooses to share my experience with others. So at the end of the day, you should do what's best for you. And as always, consult your physicians. Okay, so I think as far as housekeeping, that is all that I want to say. No, one last thing. I was originally going to tell you guys what I did this past weekend, but then I decided that I wouldn't tell you, and that I would create a video that will be released in a few months at the end of the summer, basically detailing all the things I did during my summer. I was going to say my summer break, but technically I don't have a summer break. I'm not a school employee. I work all year round. I was a school employee at one point, but I still worked all year round then too. But I decided to do something a little fun and a little different, that I would make a video of all the things that I did at the end of the summer. So I gotta keep my lips closed for a few more months, and then we'll talk about that in a couple of months. But what you guys are really here for is the weeks 40 through 42 update. So I'll get right into it. Week 40, I lost 0.4 pounds. And week 41, I lost 0.7 pounds. And then week 42, I lost 0.4 pounds. So what is that? I know math. I'm sorry. So that should be like 1.5 pounds if my mental math is correct. Because that would be 0.8 plus 0.7. Yeah, that should be 1.5 pounds for weeks 40 through 42. Now, again, if you are new, I am a slower loser, and I am currently on 8.5 milligrams. My situation this week, which I probably shouldn't talk about this week, because this week I think is technically week 44, so I probably should talk about that now. But spoiler alert, this week, since I was going out of town, I just drew up what I had in that vial, and I didn't want to take like a bigger Lure Lock vial, because anything over 8 with the current concentration that I have, I would need to either use a larger Lure Lock type syringe. It wouldn't all fit in one syringe, and I was traveling and didn't want to take multiple, syringes or a really big Lure Lock. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I kind of like split the dose, but I didn't split the dose correctly, as they say you should take like a full dose and then do like half and half. I didn't really split correctly. So before I went on vacation, I took a syringe with me on vacation with me, but I only took like 5 milligrams worth of medicine, because that was all that was in the vial. So today, which was like 3 days after the original dose, I took 3.5 milligrams worth of medication to equal out the 8.5 milligrams. But technically, you're not supposed to do that. According to people online, when you split dose, you're supposed to take your full dose first, and then the next dose, I think they say 3 days later, you're supposed to take half of what you would normally take, and then 3 days after that, you take half of. But again, I'm no medical professional. You have to do you. Typically, this whole time that I've been taking the medicine, I haven't really split dose except one other time. And that time, I believe I did it incorrectly as well then too. But typically, I take all of the medicine in one dose, and then I take that every 7 days. I am very curious though, because I watch Life of Vivi and she's talking about taking hers every 5. So I am curious how that would affect her or how that would affect me. But that isn't something that I discuss with my doctor. So it's probably not something that I would just do on my own. So that is that. So, yeah. So, but yeah. So that is all as far as the weight loss is concerned. So for weeks 40 through 42, I lost 1.5 pounds. So that is that. I think, just trying to think. I don't think there's anything else that I specifically wanted to talk about. I did want to, but it has already came and went. But I wanted to do a live for week 40 and talk about if people are telling people that they're on a GLP-1 medication, and I wanted to get into a story and everything like that. But then I thought about it a little bit more, and I'm like, I don't know, maybe this isn't something that I was going to talk about, that I should talk about, because actually I was going to talk about how I was following this lady who was on a GLP-1, but she didn't tell us she was on a GLP-1. She just was acting like she was losing weight without medication. And then she finally came out like 2 years later to say, yeah, I was on a GLP-1 and all of this other stuff. But I don't know. I felt like it had mean girl energy behind it, even though I wasn't trying to have mean girl energy. But I don't want to be that person. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't going to specifically like call her name or anything like that. But I also just felt like, maybe I shouldn't talk about her. I was going to talk about her in a bad way, but I mean, maybe it might have looked a little bit shady. So, hold on one second. Ooh. So, sorry about the interruption. So, I wasn't 100% sure, but I wanted to get you guys' take on it. Like, are you hiding that you're on a GLP-1 medicine? I mean, I feel like with her, it's a little bit different because, she is sharing her weight loss experience, and it's kind of inauthentic if you like are on the medicine or you have surgery or something like that, and you talk about how you're losing weight, but then you don't really fully disclose all that you're doing. I think it's different if you're just like a regular person and you're not necessarily sharing it. You do you, but I feel like it is a little weird that you would have your followers believe for the last 2 years that you've lost your weight naturally, and then when people suspect that something's going wrong, you don't just come out and say, "Oh, I was on the medicine." You kind of like gaslight them, like, "Oh, I've been doing this natural." So it kind of turned me off from watching her videos. So I don't think I've watched any of her videos since she made the video saying that she was on the medicine. And I don't think that she ever would have shared it if she wasn't able, her insurance stopped covering it. So naturally she stopped taking it. So naturally she started to gain the weight back, and the math just really wasn't mathing. So I'm just curious if people are actually hiding, if they're actually hiding their weight loss from their friends and family. People that I knew that I was going to see regularly, I just pretty much just told them. I don't really have that many. I have a lot of family, but I'm not necessarily that close with them. But I don't really have that many friends, so it wasn't something that I was trying to hide. I think I told one of my friends, but I probably wasn't going to see him in forever. But I just kind of said it like in passing. But I don't think I told my other friend about it. Yeah. But I probably won't see her anyway, because most of my close friends, well, I don't really have that many close friends. I only have like 2 close friends. And well, maybe I have 3. Well, maybe I have a handful of close friends, but 2 of them that I was speaking of, they live far away, so they probably weren't going to see me anytime soon. And I don't really update my Facebook with current pictures of me. So I mean, like, the picture on my Facebook is probably from, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago. So that is that. But people that I felt that I was going to see, like, fairly regularly, I just decided to go on and tell them. But I don't really, I don't show myself giving the shot because I am on compound and I am using a syringe, so it's not as tidy looking as somebody who has like a Zepbound or a Manjaro pen. Actually, I was up at my parents' house this weekend and I was taking my medicine. I got it out the refrigerator and I was taking it before I had somewhere to be, and my dad saw, like, oh yeah. But my dad had never saw me take it before. But my dad actually has, he's on Ozempic, so he has an Ozempic pen. So I pulled out the syringes, right? And he was so shocked. And then he was like, my dad's old, he don't care. An old black man will offend you and don't care. He's all like, what? I didn't know it looked like that. It looked like you over there doing heroin. And they won't say heroin. They'll say heroin. So, he was out of control. He was like, oh yeah, you probably shouldn't show people that. And I know if you guys were watching the videos regularly, you would kind of know what it was about and what I was doing. But if you just like came in, or if the video was just like playing and you just saw somebody pull out a syringe, I will admit it does look a little untidy. So that is one of the reasons why I don't really show it. But if I actually get on Zepbound or actually get a Zepbound pen, I probably would show that because it's pretty obvious what you're doing. Because it has, you know, the name on the side and everything like that. So that's one of the reasons why I don't really share. And since I'm not a medical professional, I don't want to show you guys something that may be deemed not correct. So it's mainly just for safety of you and the appearance of the situation. But yeah, so that was that. That's all I really have to say in this video. I feel like, I'm so sorry that I haven't really been making regular videos, but I felt like, I was feeling tired a lot, but 2, and then a lot of things was going on in my family, but 3, creatively, I've just felt very, uninspired. So I don't necessarily want to show you guys the same things over and over again. I would like to show you guys something, I don't know. I like to show you guys something that you'd be interested in and watch. So if you have any ideas of things that I can show you, you can put them down below. I will occasionally continue to film my cooking videos, but I want to get that new tripod-y like situation that I saw on TikTok, the one that you can kind of like put on visors and uncut, and like I feel like the angles would be much better when I do my cooking videos, so I do want to get one of those pretty soon. But I just really haven't found anything that's kind of like creative as far as just journey is concerned that I can show you guys that you might possibly be interested in. So that is another reason that I haven't really shown anything. My eating is still very sporadic. I find that on the Empower medicine that I get really good suppression, so I'm probably not eating as much as I should. So I don't really want to do like what I eat in a day videos, because I don't really, sometimes I don't really eat as much as I think that I should, and I don't want to trigger anybody who might have an eating disorder. But yeah, so that's why I don't really do those videos. And as far as working out, I normally just walk around. I just do like a daily walk for about 30 minutes, but I'm on my phone when I do that walk most of the time. So I don't really film that either. But hopefully I'll find something that I can film that will be somewhat interesting and related to either turning 40 or being on a GLP-1 medication. What I did like from Life with Vivi is that she talks about how she goes on these solo dates. And I wanted to start taking solo dates. The problem is I live with my aunt, and sometimes she gets offended if I don't want her to tag along. But I do, since I live with her, I really am an introverted person, so I would naturally don't mind doing things alone. However, since I live with her, and she's not extroverted, but she doesn't really like to do things alone. So, if I said, oh, I'm going out to eat, she would be offended if I didn't ask her to go out to eat with me. So I have that angle. But I would like to do some solo dates, like Vivi talks about going to like Lone Corn and stuff like that. So if I do get a chance to do one of my solo dates, I plan on taking you guys with me, so it won't be like fully solo, even though I'll be the only person in there. So that is an idea that I have. Yeah, so, but this video has got gone on long enough, so I am going to pause that. But if you made it that far, this far in the video, I appreciate you for watching. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Also, remember, if you don't mind, just put some videos, some video ideas in the comments section, so I can try to get a little bit more consistent with making the videos for you guys. So that is it. That is all. I'll talk with you guys later. Please stay safe, and that's it. Just stay safe, stay healthy. Try to, if you haven't done anything for yourself in a while, just try to do something for you this week. Try to do something for you. Okay, I'll talk with you guys later. Bye.